Hi Pisces, this is your reading for December 2018. Thanks for being with me here. Please take the time to set aside anything that you're doing and get yourself into a comfortable posture. No multitasking now, just put all of your awareness here with me on the reading so you can get the most out of it. Take a couple of deep breaths, and each time you exhale, release any tension or anxiety that you might be feeling, and come into a calm, quiet, centered place. As I'm shuffling, please take a moment to check in with your higher self and your guides. Ask them to reach out to my higher self and my guides so that we can create a feedback loop of information to get messages that are perfectly tailored for you. Okay. You have 4 pentacle cards in the reading in this spread right now. You have the 5 in reverse, the 6 upright, the 7 upright, and the 8 reversed. It's creating this interesting diagonal reading across the spread here. And it would kind of suggest that maybe work is on your mind this month, and finances, and the way that you are working may be something that you're considering changing or integrating new things into your style of work. Being that you have the 5 of Pentacles at the center of the reading crossed by the Ace of Cups, the 5 of Pentacles is reversed here. So what I'm seeing here is that it looks more like you are kind of interested in bringing in more ways of working, or different ways of making money perhaps, that are more fun for you, that bring more contentedness and satisfaction. Maybe you're wanting to do more creative things with your time. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to quit your job and start something new. For some of that might be true, but what I'm seeing, this is more, I think it feels more like you're looking to how you can spend your time interested with more like activating more hobbies and activities outside of work, that may be something that you can develop and cultivate new skills or enhance the skills that you already have to kind of build a greater portfolio. I'm hearing for some of you. Some of you might actually be artists and you have a kind of day job that you're working in order to kind of take care of your bills and such, while you actually kind of practice your artwork separately from your paid job. And maybe this is a time where you're really feeling the need to kind of dig in a little bit deeper and practice your skills more to cultivate a greater level of skill, so that you can put together a body of work that you can actually do something with as a professional job. That might not be true for all of you. Some of you might just be looking to kind of do some additional study outside of the work environment to bring extra skills to the table in your workplace. But the general feeling here is that, like, you're wanting to kind of lift your game a little bit and bring something new to the table and enhance your existing kind of skill set with some new stuff or some enhancements to existing skills. Because you're kind of looking to feel a little bit more content, and I think you want to challenge yourself a little bit to do something more with the talents that you have. What else is here? I'm hearing surrender. Let's see if I can get anything more on that. You have 2 kings in this reading, both upright, and you have 2 knights, one reversed and one upright. And then you have 1 queen reversed, and then you have strength and the lovers. So, you know, for some of you, we could be looking at a love reading here, and you may be interested in a new partner, or have someone around you that you kind of like either dating, or someone that's showing interest in you. And it could be that you're surrender could be referring to maybe you're withholding a little bit from letting go and letting yourself kind of fall into this relationship because for whatever reasons, maybe you have some reservations. It does, I mean, with the strength in reverse, the strength and the Lover's card are both in reverse here. And this could suggest, as I said, that you maybe are restraining yourself a little bit, holding back from kind of falling into it or letting yourself go too much into it. That may or may not be valid. That's not really for me to say. I'm just reading the cards here, and it does say that you are holding back a little bit. But having the King of Wands here with the Seven of Pentacles, even though I read this 7 earlier with regards to your work, I think that this could suggest that, you know, if this King of Wands here is referring to a person, could be a man or a woman, it doesn't really matter. If it is about a person, it could suggest that this is the potential, you do have the potential here for a long-term partnership, being that the Seven of Pentacles refers to investments. And even though that's a financial take on this card, how I could see it in regards to a relationship is that, you know, you have the possibility to grow something really beneficial and big and long in a long-term way with someone with commitment and with practice and loyalty and tending and nurturing. There could be the possibility for a long-term relationship there. And this King of Cups here in the outcome position as well, with, you know, like reading these 3 cards together, it does seem like if this is a person, you know, if we're talking about a person here, like someone that's around, that's come into your life, that's kind of showing up, showing interest, it feels like this person is very, it's a good person, you know, emotionally loving and caring and quite stable, you know, that he's upright. If he was in the reverse position, I may not give such a positive read on this person, but I feel that being that he's in the upright position, it does suggest that he has kind of a level of maturity and a level of possibility there that it's worth you giving kind of contemplation to, or giving possibility to, but nothing to rush into also. So I'm not reading these reversals as a bad thing at all. Like if you're hesitant and reluctant and kind of taking your time, there's nothing wrong with that at all. There's no need to rush into anything. You do have the Queen of Wands here reversed with the Knight of Cups. So perhaps for some of you, if the Knight of Cups here is representative of an offer or a possibility, I would say if the Queen of Wands is, if they're both in reverse here, it seems like it may not be something that could be long lasting. It might just be a fun fling, a fun short time, something to enjoy, but not something to get attached to or try to make into something more than what it is. It's just something to enjoy. It's a passionate moment. Yeah, the Knight of Swords is also kind of giving that energy of like something rushing in quickly, but maybe not long lasting, just something kind of fun and fleeting and nothing to get attached to or nothing to kind of try to hold on to and make it into something that it's not. But there's different people in this reading. So for some of you, there could be multiple people around that you may be dating or interested in, or it could just be that there's different people are being described for different people who are watching. So just take it as it makes sense to you, and don't try to squeeze something that doesn't fit and make something that's not there be there, if you know what I mean. Just be honest. Now the Moon card is the crowning card here in the reading, which is interesting because you have all this, and a lot of this energy is fiery. You know, you have quite a few Wands cards and also the Strength card there. The Lovers is also kind of a fiery card. Having the Moon card here in the crowning position kind of suggests to me that maybe you are in a time now of contemplation, and even though there's all these people around that maybe are trying to vie for your attention, you might not be that interested because you're kind of in a contemplative, quiet space within, and you're kind of just like taking some time for yourself to do some self-nurturing, self-care, and just be with your thoughts and feelings and not necessarily try to put your energy outside too much. It feels like a little bit introverted at the moment. And again, nothing wrong with that. There's time and place for everything. And I feel like if you are in that space of wanting to just like be creative, you know, if you're wanting to be creative, spend some time developing skills and just like nurturing your own energy and like cultivating your own skills and your own practices kind of for your own sense of well-being, then that is definitely a worthwhile, you know, way to spend your time. And if people are around you that are kind of trying to get your attention, and if it doesn't feel like it's something that you really want to compromise and give up your time on things that you're really enjoying doing to be with this person, then don't. No reason. You know, people have to be really worthy of your time for you to give up the energy that you're putting into your own self-care at this moment. So really just follow what feels good for you, as in all ways, of course, but trust what you feel about someone. And if there's pressure from someone to give you more time than you're willing to give, then they're kind of like, you know, just eliminating themselves from being an option for you. So, but also I guess there's also something there for, and the flip side of that coin is that, you know, like, don't play games with people. If someone's kind of wanting your attention and you see that they're a good person and they're a caring person and you're actually interested, don't be coy and play games with them to try to feel like you're kind of playing hard to get or whatever. Just be honest, be real. Don't play games. Don't try to manipulate the energy to kind of make yourself feel like they have to chase after you to get you or whatever. No reason for that. Okay, let's look at the bottom of the deck. Page of Swords, Page of Cups. So now we have two pages. We have 2 pages, 2 knights, 2 kings, and now we have 2 queens. So there's a lot of people in your reading this month, Pisces. So there could be a lot of people around you. There could be a lot of energy around you. Sometimes for some of you, it could feel really distracting to have all this energy around, people, attention kind of either at you, or people wanting to do activities together or whatever. It's interesting that both of the queens in the reading are in reverse, along with the Strength card, which is also kind of a female archetype energy, and she's also in reverse. And the 2 kings are upright, the 2 pages are upright. So I feel like this queen energy could be more representative of you, and these other court cards are other people. So yeah, I kind of feel like I want to connect the 2 queens here in reverse with this moon card, which is crowning the reading. It does feel like, as I said earlier, you're kind of wanting to be a little bit more contemplative at this time, maybe spend more time making artwork, doing some kind of like creative practices or endeavors. Maybe you want to focus on exercising, maybe you want to learn how to cook if you don't know how to cook. I feel like your energy is kind of more going into this internal space of self-care and self-nurturing, self-study, artistic endeavors, creative practices, exercise. And I think there's a lot of energy around you, people kind of wanting your attention, wanting to spend time socializing, but maybe you just don't really feel like it at the moment. And there's nothing wrong with that. The final card here in the extended readings is this 3 of Pentacles, which is again another Pentacle card that's talking about creative endeavors and work, practicing skills, developing skills, working on collaborations. It could be that some of this energy around is people offering you work and wanting to offer you kind of a collaborative space to be with them in sort of some kind of creative endeavor, whether it's something for business or just if it's for pleasure and for fun. And I think that's more interesting to you than just socializing for the sake of socializing at this month. So maybe this moon card, this energy of the moon, could be channeled into this creative endeavor either on your own or with others. The 3 of Pentacles is more about collaboration. Yeah, seeing both of these queens in reverse does kind of say to me that you kind of just like want to be in your own space at this moment and just kind of like do your own thing, be kind of quiet internally. You know, it doesn't feel so interesting to kind of like have a lot of social interaction that's just doesn't have much meaning or purpose, and it's a little superficial. I feel like that's not really what's interesting to you at this time. Yeah. I think that's it for the general reading, Pisces. I'm going to take the Voyager deck now and do your higher octave reading using this holographic mandala spread again. So now the higher octave reading is designed to give more insight into what's happening on a spiritual soul level, on a karmic level, to provide insight on what's happening in those areas to help guide us forward, to know how to best meet the opportunities that are available, how to step forward with grace, how to work with the energies that are there. So while I shuffle, please do send your energy into the deck, and I'll do my best to get clear information for you. Six of Wands, Child of Wands, Ace of Crystals, the Hierophant, Ten of Worlds reversed, Balance, which is the Justice card in this deck, Six of Worlds reversed, the Death reversed, Sage of Wands reversed, Five of Wands, the Tower reversed, Ten of Cups, Woman of Crystals reversed, and Nine of Wands. Okay. Okay. So I feel that for some of you, you may be actually in a process now of reevaluating your career and your work life, because as I said in the previous spread, there was a lot of Pentacle cards, and there was some talk there about, you know, upgrading skills or building a portfolio or pursuing more creative endeavors. And I felt like in that general reading that it wasn't necessarily talking about leaving your current job and changing. But in this higher octave reading, it does kind of feel like there's part of you that is yearning for something that's a little bit more in alignment with what you feel is your truer expression in life and what it is that you feel like is more your path. And there's an element here of kind of wanting to have a fresh start here with the Child of Wands as the crossing card at the center of the reading. And at the foundation, you have the Hierophant here. So I kind of feel like in this central axis going from the subconscious to the subconscious, it's like you want to have a fresh start. You want to start something new. You've got the Ace of Crystals here. You want to take a new idea and move forward with it in some way, whether it's in business or, you know, whether it's for you to sort of start your own business, or whether you are kind of wanting to bring a new idea into the world in some way, shape or form. But at the foundation here, having this Hierophant here, it says to me that you kind of know, you understand that, like, in order for that expression to happen in an external way, there's work to do in the unconscious mind and in the quiet spaces to actually build a lot more discipline and practice, and maybe even study, either self-study or studying under someone. The Hierophant can speak about that. And I feel that there is an element of you that's kind of coming into a certain alignment, but you sort of understand that there's a sort of earthly 3D timeline that has to play out in order for you to get where you want to go. There are some steps involved. There's kind of a linear progression of ideas and physical things that have to happen for you to get to where you want to go. And perhaps there's an element here of feeling a little bit like, maybe not frustrated, but kind of like, you know, as I said, you know where you want to go and where you want to be. You know you want to embody different type of energy. You want to be more creative, or you want to have like, you want to feel like more in alignment with the true path that you feel is yours to step. But there's maybe a lag between what you're doing now and how you see yourself in the future, and there's some work to do in between those 2 points to get you there. So here the Six of Worlds and Nine of Wands. Six of Worlds is reversed, and it's the same card that you had in this reading, in the previous reading. This card, in this reading, it's in the reverse position. So this Six of Pentacles, you had it here with the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. This is where I was talking about, you know, cultivating, developing new skills, and maybe there is a slight element of like being dissatisfied at work because you're working under a boss, and maybe you kind of feel like you want to just break out and do your own thing and be your own boss, start your own business, do your own venture. But for now, you're kind of like you need that relationship. And here it's saying that, like, yes, you know you need that relationship, and you know it's kind of creating stability for you. And maybe it's not what you love entirely, but you're working towards the goal that you have in the direction that you want to go. And the important thing to remember is when you feel that, like when you feel like you want to make a shift, but the time hasn't quite gotten there yet, it's important to stay really patient and not let yourself get frustrated with feeling irritated about like not doing what you want to be doing, and just know that like there is a timeline that needs to play out. And if you're, you know, like you can't necessarily quit your job right now to start a new business if you don't have any savings, for example. That's just one really mundane physical example of how this energy is playing out. So having clear goals, having like a certainty in your mind about the direction you want to go, and being realistic about what it's going to take to get there, knowing that you may have to undertake some study, or that you will have to practice your skills, or you have to learn about business, and all the things that will be important, and things to keep in mind when you are mapping out your transition, and just being realistic about how you're going to get where you're going to go, right? And not letting yourself get, as I said, a lot of this, the importance of how this will play out as far as how you're going to feel through this transition is all about the mind. If you're letting your mind kind of let you get irritated and frustrated about still doing this job that you don't like, but you'd rather be doing that, you're going to be suffering. So be careful to kind of keep that in check, and make sure that your mind is on the program with you, as far as like understanding that everything's serving a purpose for you right now to get you to where you want to go. And don't let your mind kind of nag at you and create like dissonance in yourself around not doing what you want to be doing right now, because you do need to kind of take things step by step and have kind of a map of how you're going to get where you want to go. Now up here you have the Death and the Woman of Crystals, both in reverse. Again, it's kind of the same thing that I was just saying. Like you want to embark on a new journey. You want to undertake a transition into something new, into a new project, into a new venture, into new ideas. And the Death card and the Woman of Crystals both in reverse. The Woman of Crystals refers to the Queen of Swords. So here this is like talking about a woman with ideas, with creativity, with some kind of like idea that you want to go forward with, and your own truth, like embodying your own truth. But both of these cards being in reverse here is saying to me what I just described, which is that you have to understand that there's a timeline, and maybe you're not ready for that transition yet, and you need to be patient and just understand that there is a physical timeline that needs to play out for you to get to the place that you want to go. And you have to be diligent in the space of the mind to stay patient and stay focused and stay in a very consistent practice of stepping forward with the tasks that you need to do and the studies that you need to do in order to get to the place that you want to go. And not expected to get there, not expected to wake up the next day and be in the place that you want to be in. Here you have the Sage of Wands in reverse with the Ten of Cups in the positions of hopes and fears. This says to me that you are looking to move towards things that are much more emotionally satisfying. That's the Ten of Cups. You want to be embodying and invoking your passions fully and moving towards the types of lifestyle things that make you deeply satisfied and contented. And lifestyle for me it's about how you spend your time every day, and that a large part of that is how we make money. So this is very much about, I feel, you wanting to kind of move in a direction where you're feeling much more in alignment with your gifts and your talents and how you want to express yourself in life. And here you have the Sage of Worlds in reverse, and this position is your hopes and fears. So how I could see this is that it's a little message here about being vigilant to work with any fears and with any hesitation that comes up, and just to practice kind of, again, self-discipline of the mind to kind of remove any resistance or any obstacles that come up around you moving into the life that you want, and overcome any fears, overcome any issues around lack of self-worth or lack of ability to receive, because in order to pull this all off, you have to believe that you are worthy of the lifestyle that you want. So that's the work to do, is to not just maintain a disciplined mind to overcome the irritability and the frustrations that can come up around not being where you want to be yet, but also removing the resistance to actually receiving the benefits of the universe that's coming towards you, that is actually seeded by your own thoughts and ideas that you're putting out in order to create the life you want. So you have to believe it. You have to know where you want to be, and you have to believe that it's yours to have. Okay? And then again, in the outcome position, you have the Five of Wands with the Tower reverse. All the corners here are kind of saying the same thing. The Five of Wands is saying to me that you may feel a little bit bound and tied in the responsibilities that you have and the work that you have that isn't necessarily exactly what you want to be doing, but you know where you want to go, and you're kind of waiting for this moment where you can actually make this transition. But the Tower is in reverse here, saying that the time is not necessarily right now to actually make the shift that you want, but where it happens and how it happens is in those consistent daily efforts that you make to move towards your goal, and move away from it just being a pipe dream, from just being an idea, move away from it just being a visualization even. You actually have to make physical effort on a daily basis to work towards your goal. If you have a full-time job and like you feel like time is limited, 1 hour a day. Dedicate 1 hour a day to your learning, to your skills that you need to bring in, to your studies, to your practices, to your creative practices, to your whatever business practices, business skills that you need to learn if it is that you want to start a new business, and if that's what this is about, then make sure that you work on it every single day. In some way, you've got to work towards it every day. With discipline, with willpower, with a sense of hopefulness and promise, with positivity, with knowing that you are well on the way to your goal, with a sense of self-worth and almost an expectation of actually achieving your goal. You have to believe it. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. You have the Devil card, Child of Cups, Eight of Cups, and the Lovers. You had the Lovers in the previous spread. I don't know if you guys have watched my readings before. I'm not really that interested personally in reading romantic readings. You're never going to hear me talk about twin flames. But if this is coming up again, there could be somehow for some of you a new relationship in the works or in the wings, and I feel like it's up to it would only, as I said in the previous reading, it seems like there's a lot of people around that are vying for your attention, but that you feel much more like you're focused on your inner work, on your creative development, on your inner contemplation, and practices, your own personal practices, such that I feel like these people that are around you may not get the attention that they want from you. So it's up to you. Like if this is about a relationship coming in, yeah, sure, if you want, But I feel like this is more about your personal union with yourself. You feeling like you're in alignment with your calling, with your path, with your, the soul imprint that you've come in with. It feels more like you're working towards your own wholeness and your own divine connection with yourself. And that's what I'm seeing with the Lovers card here. It's not necessarily about a relationship, but it could be. And then, the Hanged Man is here at the top of the deck. I remember saying surrender in the earlier reading. I think the takeaway message, the last thing I'll say here before I wrap up, is that I do feel that the important part of this reading is the part where I spoke about how much you need to really practice trusting and believing that you are worthy of the life that you want, that you can create the lifestyle that you want, you can have the work and do the work that you want, that you can be in total alignment with your truest calling, what you feel is your soul's journey, your soul's path. But the work to do is to remove any obstacles that get in the way or any resistance you have to actually having the life that you want. And just paying attention, noticing that when you feel that, when those moments come up where you have those internal dialogues that say negative things or that say limiting things or that say that any kind of internal talk that kind of puts any type of barrier between you and the things that you want. That's the work to do, is to address those things, to surrender to the life that you want by facing and addressing any kind of resistance that you see showing up. And small, delicate, deliberate steps on a daily basis to work towards your goals. It's not enough to just visualize. It's not enough to make lists. You actually have to do the work. If you want to be a musician, you've got to practice every day. If you want to be an artist, you have to paint or draw every day. There's no like prodigies. It's not the era. We don't live in that time anymore. Even if someone's a prodigy, there's only so far that's going to get them before they actually have to be consistent and do the work. It's not enough to just like paint one really good painting and then think you're an artist. Sorry, it doesn't work like that. Okay, Pisces, that's your reading for December. I hope you found that helpful and insightful. Don't forget to watch Sun, Moon and Ascendant for a total snapshot on all the energies that you're working with this month. I would also suggest that any of the readings that jump out at you, just click on them and watch them, because sometimes I'm just picking up on the energy signatures of the day and it's not necessarily relevant to one sign only. So just use your intuition, and if you feel to click on another sign that doesn't have anything to do with your chart, then just go ahead and watch it Turn it off if it's not for you. But quite often, that if you feel drawn to watch one of the readings, then there could be messages there for you. So thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you being here with me. It's an honor to read for you. Thank you for subscribing. And don't forget to watch this again later in the month so that you can just have some reminders, and maybe you'll pick up more things as the month unfolds. I hope to see you in the next reading. Thanks so much for watching.